Hello and welcome to this late morning taste challenge. We have Old Overholt Straight Rye Whiskey produced in Kentucky, founded in Pennsylvania by Abraham Overholt, but for a long time now it's been in Kentucky by Beam Suntory, aged 3 years, 80 proof. This is the black cap that was retired in 2020 apparently. 80 proof, aged 3 years, chill filtered. $15.95 at Walmart. Now they got the new updated version, $15.95 at Walmart. Woodford Reserve Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey. 90.4 proof. So it's 45.2% alcohol. Good deal, 5.2% higher alcohol level. No age statement, meaning it's aged at least 4 years. It's Kentucky Straight Rye, meaning what? It's aged in new charred oak barrels. And they give the mash bill that do not here. This is at least 51% rye, but we don't know the mash bill here. But for here, we do. Woodford Reserve, it tells you. 53% rye, 33% corn, and 14% malted barley. 53, 33, 14. 53% rye, 33% corn. And that gets you to 86%, and 14% barley malt. All right. If I tell you the price for this, you're gonna think I'm lying. So maybe I had better not mention what I paid for 750 milliliters of Woodford Reserve. Got 750 milliliters of Woodford Reserve Rye. This is going to count for Wednesday, because Wednesday I got the examination at 7:20 Eastern, and it'd be too much to do this and that. Woodford Reserve Rye Walmart. Let's see. If they sell it at Walmart, what are they charging? $36. And they got it in stock here. So a big price difference. $16, $36. So $20 more. Is it going to be $20 better? Well, the George Dickel was better, but it wasn't $20 better. It wasn't even $9 better, which was the price difference I experienced. $9. Now, if anybody wants to know what I paid for Woodford Reserve Rye, let me know and I'll tell you. Otherwise, we'll just skip over that, because you're going to have to pay $36. And if I tell you, you're going to get mad. All right. 2 zeros, 2 letter O's actually. Old Overholt. Old Overholt. Apparently there is a rare 114 proof. Apparently there might be a rare 15-year aged, but you'll never know looking on the Beam Suntory website, because they don't even list this as a brand. Is that wrong? Yes. And that's just not right. So there, nice gold, amber, pretty nice looking whiskey. Now here's a cork, a wooden cap with a cork, real cork, not the particle board cork, but a real hunk of cork, just like the Sazerac Rye. So, yeah, I got it, and my friend David took advantage of it too. We got it for a price that was really beyond belief. It was like I mean, there was no way we were not going to get it. You know what I'm saying? We were buying it. And that is the case that they gave me. Let me update something here real fast. Now, David said he went to Savannah Discount a couple of weeks ago and it was closed. I said, what? That had me a little concerned. Not that I need any liquor for the next couple of years, which is the truth. But let's check on that. I said, uh-oh, did somebody make that phone call? Did somebody not get that payment? You know what I mean? But anyway, it's open right now, apparently. Oh, it could have just had some kind of electrical problem that day or whatever. But anyway, I went by International Market Saturday, and I bought one beer, a flavored beer, but I did not buy any liquor. Like I said, I don't need anything. I noticed they were resetting. They had, well, they're redoing the whole store, so the whole store is just like, you know, a mess in a way. Because I mean, they're doing great work on it, but they're kind of midway through it and really going to be modern. Because it used to look like some old, outdated thing, which it was. But looked like they had reset the liquor, maybe pulling stuff off to just get rid of it for almost no price, stuff that never sells, and they consolidate in the liquor section. Still a pretty impressive, very impressive section, but it's an unusual grocery store in the sense it has a wooden floor. You know, it's elevated, it's off the ground, so it's like an old, you know, the old country style stores and wooden floors instead of concrete, but plank wood floor. I don't know how old it is. I know of another modern store that was like that, but it got demolished. They sold the land and they tore it down for something else. All right, so the and it's a big store, and I don't think International Market's some tiny place. Oh no. It's big like a regular grocery store. This is amber, and this is more gold. So you got more toward gold, more toward brown. So I'm going to have to be careful not to glance at it, because pretty obviously I would be able to tell them apart just by looking at the color real fast. It's that different. That makes sense. The Woodford Reserve is using fresh charred oak, and they're aging it at least 4 years, so it's going to be a good deal dark. Well, maybe it would be, but it is. This literally is darker in this case due to whatever factors, but definitely stronger alcohol. Working next door. Okay. Got a feeling about to start cutting that grass. It's going to be loud, so I'm going to have to hurry up. I smell rye whiskey, but which one is it at this point? I don't know. I got to compare it to the other. Seems like a pretty deep char, though, so it must be the Woodford Reserve. But let's hold on. Much lighter, much less aroma. This is, without a shadow of a doubt, the old Overholt, and this is the Woodford Reserve. There is no mistaking them on aroma only. So I'm going to go and call it now. I'm going to say this is Woodford Reserve. It's got a much richer, stronger aroma. Is it a better aroma? Well, I guess that would depend on who's sipping it or smelling it, because some people like the very mild, demure 80 proof products. And if it gets above 80, it just, it's too strong. They can't stand it. I'm not in love with those higher proof things myself, but to me, the Woodford Reserve got a little bit more character going on with it. But It is the Woodford Reserve. I got it. I got it. I mixed them up well, too. I didn't cheat. Man, look, if you got to cheat on a taste challenge because you don't want it to be incorrect, you got some kind of psychiatric problems. Now, people might say, well, if you're doing live taste challenges, you have psychiatric. No, that's not an example of a psychiatric problem. It's eccentric, maybe, but it's not that abnormal. It's just something most people don't do or care to do. They rather watch it. All right, hold on. So anyway, now let's go with the taste. We already know which is which by virtue of aroma. Just goes to show you how distinct they are one from another. I'm going to bring in Hunter Rye after I do Crown Royal Northern Harvest Rye because I only got one little sample bottle of Northern Hunter. It wasn't enough to really get a good handle on it. And Hunter Rye, and I want to go through the taste challenges with that Hunter Rye 90 proof and see what happens. So I'm excited. If anybody wants to see what the bottle looks like, let me know. You may not be familiar with Hunter Rye. Oh boy, I saw that bottle earlier this month in Arlington, Texas at Liquor Warehouse. I said, oh, look. My friend David was like, I don't care about that. Basically, his attitude said, well, you don't have to care, but I know I do. He made me drive. He didn't make me. I went along with it. Nobody's going to make drive all the way 4 miles away. You say, that's not far, 4 miles. It's far when we couldn't find the liquor store and their GPS was inaccurate, and the people at Total Wine and More could not tell us where it was. And so it was a big, huge commotion. You know, a short trip turned into over an hour. And people these days, you say, well, they got smartphones. Are smartphones really that smart? I asked him, I said, okay, look. And he was like, my friend David was like panicking, like, so I got to deal with all this, you know. And I'm more calm, you know, measured, like not panic, you know. So I told Total Wine, I said, let me ask you this question. I said, we're right by the interstate. We're at the entrance exit area. I said, so are you north or south of the interstate 20? And there was a pause, no answer. Well, immediately I knew this girl on the phone does not know north from south. And I could hear her talking to other people and none of them knew. So I said, oh yeah, these people, I'm talking about like the whole United States. They're so, and I read an article about it today on LouRockwell.com about this addiction problem in America with these phones, you know, and it just total devotion to this device. And people have no sense of direction anymore, like anyone under 40, like how to get anywhere, basically, you know. And she said, well, it's next to the Men's Warehouse. It's a totally ridiculous way to give directions. And I was telling David, I said, can you imagine in World War II, that would have been how the U.S. Army would have done directions. You know, we need an airstrike at we need an airstrike by the Rhone River. We buy this little house and it got this red fountain in front of it. And there's a dog on the corner of the street. And the airplane would be like, what? You know, the Army Air Force people would be saying, what are you talking about? You know, instead of we are 100 meters west of the Rhone River, south of the Krichsenberg Road, immediately south of that road and bridge and west of the river. And they would have said, oh yeah, we know exactly where you are. Is there a house with a barn behind it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. But trying to find this place, which should have been easy. All she had to say was we north of the interstate, west of McGee Road. North of the interstate, west of McGee Road. That's a quadrant. Got the interstate going east and west, and you got McGee Road going north and south. Simple, right? So you got 4 quadrants. All they had to say, northwest, the northwest quadrant on the service road. I'd have had that in really 1 minute. Ain't nobody in that store knew what north, south, east, and west. And I noticed this today when I talk to people. They'll say, how you get to some place? And I'll say, oh, it's just west of that, just west of the high-rise bridge on north of I-10. Just west of the high-rise bridge, north of I-10. They don't know what I'm talking about. I could have told them it was on the moon. They might have understood better. And I think it's a very bad problem. To be uneducated and to be driving across the United States. They'll go on a road trip. We're going to Mount Rushmore. And I take issue with that too. I don't want to get on a rant about Mount Rushmore. People are going to say, you're unpatriotic. I'm not unpatriotic at all. I just don't like the idea of defacing wildlife or nature, in this case, rocks, to put a bunch of people's faces on the side of it. A mountain. I don't like that. You say, what about Stone Mountain? I bet you like that because it's Confederate. I don't like that either. You don't chip away the side of a mountain to make so-called artwork. So, and what you're really doing is you're making a tourist attraction is what you're trying to do. So, no, I do not support that. But anyway, these people that drive across the United States, and what are they relying on? A road map? Oh, no, they wouldn't be able to read a road map anyway. A GPS system. I say, what if that fails? You know, satellite problems. What if it fails? They'd be helpless. Helpless. And I know people in my family, they are identical to that way of thinking. They couldn't get anywhere. Lost. Okay. When I do these whiskeys, I like to have my bearings, meaning I like to know what I'm dealing with. What is the ABV? How long has it been on the market? I don't know how long Woodford Reserve Rye has been on the market. I know it can't be longer than 25 years because Woodford Reserve didn't hit the market until 96. So it has to be somewhere within that 25-year range. Probably more recent than old. Old Overholt, we know exactly how long that we know, theoretically at least, and I think it's probably true that it was discontinued. This particular recipe in 2020 replaced by the higher proof new recipe. We know without a doubt that old Overholt has been on the market since 1810. I did trademark research on it. U.S. Patent Office, 1810, first time used in commerce. So, see, would I prefer to have a definitive mash bill? Yeah, it would help me, like I say, keep my bearings, like driving around on the highway going somewhere. You want to know where you are. Now, my friend David had his smartphone. Did it work? It worked sometimes. Half the time, however, he was saying, it's off, it's off. I got to reset it. He told me one place was 5 miles away. Turns out it was 39 miles away. I said, there is no way I'm driving 39 miles so you can get a bottle of whiskey. That's almost 80 miles round trip. I said, that will not happen. That is not going to happen. He got angry. I said, you can get as angry as you want. There's no way that's going to happen. So he reset the thing. Oh, there's one 4 miles. I said, let me see that phone. And I looked at the map. I said, yeah, I could get there. I could get there from memory, not from, I got the little dot tracking me, but from actually just, I was at the Rangers game, look at the map. I say, okay, got to go directly west on Old Highway 80, now State Highway 180. and then go south on this road, and it's right there, assuming that the dot is correct. Well, actually, the dot was incorrect. That's where the phone call to Total Wine came in, and they had no clue what I was talking about. All right. But I got there in a snap. Also got to drive through the campus of University of Texas at Arlington. Very nice campus, I might add. Enough ranting and raving about directions, but that really bothers me, where people just do not know where they are. Like literally don't know where they are. Outside of a computerized guidance system telling them where they are. Well, I would have problems with that. When I go to a city, I look at a map. I'll study that map for days. And I'll remember here, okay, it's here, it's next to that. Like New York City, I walked all around New York City many times. Here, there, everywhere. I can tell you exactly where I walked. To a T. Tell you what store I went in to get particular beers. You say, oh, yeah, I guess you're some kind of genius. No. But it's a matter of being aware of what is happening at the time and not being lost in la la land. I'll tell you right now, there's no way. The Woodford Reserve is $20 better. It's better. I agree. Okay, that's a subjective statement, right? It's not an objective statement. But in my opinion, it's a better product. It's a higher proof, age longer, better taste. Okay. But is it $20 better? I don't see that. It's your money, buy it. I mean, you want to pay $20 more, go ahead, pay it. Pay it. It's fine. It doesn't make any difference to me, especially since it's not coming out of my pocket. But Old Overholt is blander. It's not as exciting, but I'm not paying $20 more for that little measurement of excitement. I'm not doing it. Now, my friend David told me on the phone yesterday. He said, well, Old Overholt's really designed to be a mixer. Well, I knew that before you ever told me that. I said, I know that. I know all these things. I said, however, it's still a credible product on its own merits. It's not all of this, but it's still nice. It's nice. It's a nice product. It's well made. It's good. So let's think about this. We did Old Overholt versus George Dickel. George Dickel, $9 more a bottle. Was the George Dickel better? Yeah. Was it $9 better? No. Is the Woodford Reserve better? Yeah. Clearly better. Is it $20 better? No. Would I pay $9 more for it? Yeah, probably. Maybe. That would be the $9 to $10 would be the area where I would think about it. Like really think about it. Like, man, I might pay $10 more for this. But once you get above 10, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't. You can do it. I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. I'm very impressed with Old Overholt. It is low profile in the flavor, or if you want to say mild or mellow, or like I said in the past, demure. But I wouldn't say it's bland per se. It's just measured. That's the word. It's a measured product. Is the new version a little bit more exciting? It is a little bit more exciting, but it's like that much more. And anyway, the price is the same, so it doesn't really matter. What's going to happen with Jack Daniel's rye? Oh, I guess it'd be the same old thing. Is Jack Daniel's rye more expensive? Yeah, but not too much. You might have a little trouble finding Jack Daniel's rye. I don't think it's been too successful. That's my impression. I could be wrong, but I don't get that impression. Let's see, Jack Daniel's rye, Walmart. I may as well use Walmart as my main frame since, yeah, Tennessee rye. Since I looked up everything else on Walmart, and I live a half a mile from Walmart, and I get a lot of whiskeys there. Can I get a better price of Total Wine? Yeah, usually like $1 or $2 less, but I got to drive 30 miles. So, yeah, I don't know what this right here. I don't know what this checkbox is. There's nothing there. Oh, yeah, I'm not a robot. Okay. What is all this? Walmart must be dealing with, or they're paranoid about getting hacked. Like two other big companies. $21.98. I thought it was that. I said 23, but it was 22. Okay. $22 relative to the old Overholt, which is 16. My initial assumption is that it is not going to be worth no $6 more. Now, did I like the Jack Daniel's rye? Sure did. I really liked the price I paid. Boy, I love that price. I was in love with that price. I wanted to get married to that price. Which was insane. Did I love the price of the Woodford Reserve? Yeah, I love that price too. I wanted to start a harem with that price. And if you ask me, I'll tell you what it was. But that was like beyond any conceivable price that you would ever find for it. When me and my friend David saw it, we were like this. We're just looking like, he said, I'm buying that. And I say, me too. I mean, how can you resist? You cannot resist. Well, so moral of the story. Does old Overhaul present a whole lot of excitement? And is it going to make you just giddy and full of enthusiasm about rye whiskey? Nah, it ain't going to do that. But on the other hand, is it a competent product that can hold its own in a battle? Yeah, it's like the Toledo Rockets in football. They ain't winning no national championship. And you know that, and I know that. They ain't even going to get invited to the tournament. Naturally, they're not going to get invited to the national championship tournament because what if they win? You know, these big schools like Notre Dame, Texas, Southern California, Louisiana State University, Alabama, of all teams, of course, Clemson, they're not letting people like Toledo be part of the tournament. I don't care if Toledo's 14-0 or, 13-0 going into it. No, yeah, because they could win their conference championship and in the bowl, so that would be 12, 13. Yeah, 14-0. They're not going to let Toledo at 14-0 join the college playoff tournament. Now, their excuse would be, they play in a weak conference, the Mid-American Conference. Pshaw, who's worried about them? The answer would be, you're worried about them because you do not want to be Alabama, Crimson Tide, the great Crimson Tide, and play the University of Toledo because you know there is that chance. It's not a good chance, but there's always that fear that you could lose, and then you don't live it down. and you face the rest of your career. So what they do is, to avoid the risk, they don't invite them. You see, you say, well, that doesn't sound fair. I know it's not fair. Old Overholt, kind of the same type of product. It's not considered part of the big time ryes, but although it's older than almost every other one, it is older than every other one. But what I'm saying is it can hold its own. It competes, doesn't win, but it competes. Funny thing about a team like Toledo Rockets, University of Toledo, if they're really good, which usually they are, and they have off years, but they have trouble scheduling. Like, they have trouble getting a schedule. They'll get their conference schedule, obviously. But even in the regular season, a team like Alabama or Clemson or Florida State, whatever, they won't play them. You say, why? It's an easy win. It's the MAC. Because they know better. They say, we're not going to have a home game against Toledo, and they're going to come in here. We know there's too many teams who've been through that. They say, don't you remember? Well, I guess after Appalachian State and Michigan in 2004, ain't nobody going through that again. So they just said, we're not going through it. We want easy wins. When we have a non-conference schedule, we want a guaranteed win. So that, they'll cruise around looking for the weakest opponents who have, practically no chance. But a team like Toledo, they ain't scheduling them. It's too risky. Too risky. All right, Old Overholt. When you consider the price point, $15.95. I mean, you get a whole bottle of rye whiskey straight. You're getting a whole bottle of rye whiskey, straight rye, Kentucky rye whiskey, for $15.95. That's the thing. It competes. It really competes. And these other ones that are better products, they are better. And I think my college football analogy is pretty apt. But they don't necessarily justify the price point relative to the Old Overhaul. I mean, they do justify their price point on their own merits. Is the Woodford Reserve worth the $36 on its own merits? It is worth it if you consider, or if you pretend that there's nothing else available. But yet there is something else available, and it's called Old Overholt. Now you say, well, yeah, but you're not saying it. What if you got to consider the utilization of it? I agree with that. So it's a balancing act. It's what we call trade-offs. And all right, so we got Jack Daniels coming up a couple of days, and it'll be the same old story. Now, would anybody like to see? There's a guy I work with. He smokes like a chimney. Live on cigarettes. About my age, a little younger, but not much. There's a virus going around. You say, oh, no, not that virus. Well, it's the kind of virus of the old days, pre-March 2020, when you just get sick and get over it and wouldn't think much about it. I caught it. I'm still suffering with it a little bit. Not too bad. Not much to it. But he caught it. He was in the hospital for 2 days. Couldn't catch his breath. He didn't sound too terrific when I talked to him this morning, to tell you the truth. But you wanna smoke cigarettes all day long in an endless chain? Go ahead. It's your business, but you're gonna pay a fortune for it. You said, oh no, I deal with the black market. I know a guy who lives by a guy who's got a friend. His name is Easy Andy. He's a traveling salesman. He can hook me up for cheap. Well, okay. But still in all, you're going to pay. You might pay with your health, you see. But anyway, I got a bourbon coming up on, I think I'll do the review for Friday's slot. Anybody want to see what's coming up Friday? It's not going to be posted Friday. It's going to be recorded on Friday. The taste challenges, though, are going to start Saturday morning if everything works out. Does anybody want to see what bourbon's coming up? Anyone want to see? Going once? Going twice? If you want to see, let me know. I got all kind of beers I could show you that are coming up. But you say, I didn't get on this to see a showcase. I wanted to see a taste challenge. Wasn't much of a challenge, was it? Okay, going once, going twice. I'll count down to 1 and then we're finished. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, you can check it out when it comes around Saturday morning. This bourbon I have. Thank you, David, for the gift. And that's it. So thanks for watching this video production. Y'all take care now.